Hi Wildings, welcome to or welcome back to the Wilding Tarot YouTube channel where we do intuitive channeled messages for whenever you need it, guys. My name's Jade Rewilding and I will be reading for you today. As you might have guessed by the title of this video, we're going to be getting general energy readings based on any water placements that you might have. So Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces energy from your chart. I will do a bit of a better explainer in a moment when we finish setting up the space. But for now, enjoy the zen of me cleansing the space and setting up all of our beautiful things for our reading. So yeah, let's get into the reading. So today we're doing our water sign general energy readings. This can be for your sun sign. You can be doing your reading for your big three, so your sun, moon, and rising sign, or you can be doing readings for your big five, so your sun, moon, rising, Mars, and Venus placements. So whatever kind of reading you're getting, whether you want it to be like super brief, and just like your sun sign, or if you want it to be super in depth with like general readings for all five of your big five. Hopefully we'll be able to get some channeled messages that will be helpful for you today. If you are only getting one reading, I would recommend getting a reading for whichever of your big three like feels like kind of a bit of a time right now, whether that's like kind of sun, spirit, or moon, soul, or rising, kind of like how you're showing up in the world at the moment. Just based on like, yeah, it might be a particular energy that spirit is like directing you to get a reading for and like guidance around. This is like a general reading, so it tends to be like, what do you need spiritually right now? And I just find that sometimes what we need spiritually in any given moment doesn't always correlate with our sun sign. But anyway, this is going to be like similar to pick your card. You're just going to use the timestamp below to go to the relevant sign that you want a general reading for, based on wherever that energy is showing up in your chart. Remembering that yeah, like you need to always take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and meditate on the rest, because it is a collective reading, meaning that there will be some messages here for specific people, and there may be some interpretations of the cards that could be slightly different for your situation, if your energies deviate from the collective a little bit more than everyone else's. But yeah, whenever you're ready, go ahead and choose your pile, and wherever you end up, I will see you there very soon. Hi Cancer placements, welcome to your general energy reading for today. Let's go ahead and get a few more energies for our reading today, to find out what Spirit wants you to know, what guidance you need, or anything else interesting that the Pisces card also came out. You might be dominant in both of these signs in your chart. But Pisces energy on its own, it rules the 12th house of like kind of anything that's hidden realities, hidden secrets, the unconscious mind, and anything like that. It's obviously a water sign, it's a mutable sign, and Pisces is ruled, why am I blanking, by Neptune. Yeah. So Pisces ruled by Neptune, which is like a very kind of dreamy, imaginative energy when it's kind of in its like power. We also have the Earth element card, which represents obviously the Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo energy. And also it's like reflects the Pentacle suit. So like things manifesting, physical things, like things coming into the material, and yeah, like kind of earthy, grounded kind of energy, stable energy. And we also have the North Node, which has to do with life's purpose. So potentially your North Node placement might be either in Cancer or Pisces, or whatever these two elements like fit into, signs fit into in your chart, like might be relevant in terms of your life purpose. But let's find out more using this traditional tarot. We have more messages for Cancer placements, please. We have more messages for the Cancer placements, please. We have more messages for the Cancer placements. We have more messages for the Cancer placements, please. Can we clarify this 10 of Cups energy, please? Can we clarify this 10 of Wands? Can we clarify this 10 of Wands energy? And this Strength card, please. So I'm sensing you recently uncovered the truth of the happiness trap with these energies coming out. Like, I'm sensing that you really at some stage believed that like happiness was the goal, but now you understand that like contentment, peace, serenity, balance is the goal. Like happiness is like kind of a fleeting moment that you can have as you're supposed to have it, but then you've also got to be able to let it go and embrace other states of being and other emotions. And so the main intent for your day-to-day at the moment is like finding that peace, finding that balance, and like kind of living your best life. So the Temperance card is Sagittarius energy, so it's kind of that philosopher, like kind of spiritual, like kind of guru kind of energy. Sagittarius rules the 9th house of like faith and spiritual development and all that sort of stuff. So it's a very like evolved way of thinking, I would say, is to like really embrace the peace and like let go of the pressure of being happy all the time. You realize that like it's basically up to you to like focus on what makes you like just satisfied, like really enjoying life, and refining what it is that like kind of fills your cup, so to speak, and like brings you just like those feelings of contentment, not necessarily like ecstatic happiness, but like abundance from a place of just like peace and serenity. And so you're like definitely taking a lot of responsibility for like how you feel, and like actively working on how you feel to call in like things without necessarily having to be into this like almost deranged happiness all the time. And definitely it seems like what you either have been discovering or will be discovering as you like endure this like process is that a lot of our own blocks to happiness are coming from like the animal within, like the animal that has experienced like pain and heartbreak and like all of that sort of stuff, and kind of like wants from this place of ego. And you're either realizing or going to realize that being able to like let go of some of the illusions of the ego and some of the like wounds that are buried deep in your unconscious and like kind of tame that animal within will bring you a lot of abundance on without like having to try so hard. Like an abundant life is a natural state of being, and it's just all of these blocks that kind of get in the way. And so by being able to like release or like tame the like ego blocks, like things will start to flow to you much easier. I'm sensing as well that the way that you've operated in the past has potentially been like very disciplined and structured, and you're kind of learning that that's not necessarily a good fit for you, especially with doing all of this like personal work and growth and like looking for that feeling of like contentment. Like having an overly structured, disciplined life like may not be fitting for you anymore. So this Chariot card is like a Cancer energy, so it can represent like coming home to yourself, or like creating some sort of separation from like, say, like stuff that you picked up when you were young, or yeah, it can indicate like moving. So I'm sensing like a shift away from this King of Pentacles energy towards this Empress energy. So the Empress is just like, her natural state of being is just like receiving good things. She's ruled by Venus. Venus also rules the second house of like possessions and owning. Like good things flow to Venus without her having like Venus energy, without her having to try. And yeah, so the Empress is like always nourished and always like taken care of without having to do this like kind of real disciplined, structured whatnot to kind of earn it or whatever. And so I'm sensing definitely a shift away from this kind of disciplined, structured way of being into more of this like kind of flow and like attracting abundance from a real place of like just enjoying your own time, your own space, and things just like naturally becoming magnetized to you. But let's see if there's anything in the oracles for you. Yeah, I think maybe in the past you were like kind of approaching abundance with too much hunger. Like you were like in this kind of place of lack and like seeking it, and now you're like shifting into this place of like calling it in, from a place of like kind of detachment and just like knowing that you're innately a magnet to it. It's just like letting go of the blocks rather than trying to become something else. You're definitely embracing a lot more pleasure in your life, and respecting your own sovereignty, especially like entering into this kind of Empress energy. Yeah, it feels like a good time, TBH. Like it seems like really good shifts are happening for you in wherever your Cancer placement is. So yeah, you can just apply wherever your Cancer placement, Cancer sign is ruling to like potentially where this abundance is most going to manifest. But yeah, it will be general as well. So we have, it's time to release negativity, step out of your comfort zone, and your dreams need a practical plan. So stepping out of your comfort zone, like definitely moving away from this like happiness trap into like peace is like kind of weird, because it's not the narrative that kind of society tells us is like right. So it will feel a little bit weird. It will feel like you're stepping out of your comfort zone a lot. But yeah, you will be releasing kind of those negative stories that society tells us about trying to be happy all the time, and kind of selling us this like highlights reel to essentially sell us more stuff to make us better consumers. So it's definitely time to release all of that negativity, all the stuff that doesn't feel good to you. And with this dreams needing a practical plan card, I think this is just like highlighting that while you're like letting go of a lot of discipline and like kind of control, you can still like kind of plan and like envision and like do all of that like stuff, just as long as it feels good, as long as it feels like it's in the flow of like your energy and what feels right. Like this isn't to say like let go of all structure completely, because like, you know, like if that doesn't feel good to you, that's like kind of not the point. Like the point is to embrace things that feel like really nourishing and really good for you. So yeah, if you feel like you need some sort of plan, that's cool. You do you. But let's get a fairy oracle for you. So we have moon energy. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, the fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. So yeah, kind of the theme of this reading is like finding peace, embracing the natural ebb and flow of life, not expecting like to be happy all the time, like embracing like peace and contentment and like just the flow of life. So yeah, I feel like that definitely sums up what we've been talking about. But let's see if we can get an affirmation for you, Cancer placements. So we have, my motivation is fueled by the thrill my goals will bring. I am ready to create my dreams. Yeah, I think by being in your like more natural homey energy more and like conforming less to external expectations of you, like you'll definitely feel like called to create a life that may be a little bit different than what you had originally thought for yourself, but you're definitely like kind of motivated by the thrill of like what life will become based on you being in a more authentic energy. So that's really exciting. But I think I'm going to leave that there, Cancer placements. It's been a pleasure reading for you. My name's Jade Rewilding, and I'll be back on this channel doing intuitive tarot card readings for whenever you need it. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that you will be notified when I post. But until next time, ciao. Hey there, Scorpio placements. Let's get a general energy reading for you. We're going to get a few more energies for our reading from this zodiac deck, just to see any themes that might be coming up for you, or any placements for you that might be like relevant to what's about to come out from our tarot. So we've got Jupiter, abundance. Is there any other themes for this Scorpio energy? Okay, so Pluto does rule Scorpio, so I find that interesting that that's come out. Okay, so we have Pluto, which rules Scorpio, and both of these obviously correspond to the 8th house of beginnings, endings, sex, metaphysics, and kind of like all that woo-woo stuff. We also have the Venus card, which rules the 7th house of partnerships alongside Libra energy, and it also rules the 2nd house of possessions and owning alongside Taurus energy. It obviously, Venus energy has a lot to do with like love and connection and partnership, as well as like our more like feminine energy. And then we also have the fire element, which can reflect like inspiration, creativity, desire. It corresponds with Aries, Leo, and Sag signs, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So any of those placements might be relevant to you as well. Especially this Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. They rule the 9th house of spiritual development. So it's interesting that all of that came out. But let's get a bit more specific using this traditional tarot. Can we get some messages for our Scorpio placements, please? Can we get messages for Scorpio placements? We get messages for Scorpio placements. Thank you. Any more messages for Scorpio placements, please. Any more? Thank you. And can we clarify this 8 of Cups energy? And the 10 of Cups energy. And the 8 of Swords energy. Thank you. Okay. Alright. Just gonna make sure everything fits. So I'm sensing that you potentially have recently gone through a fairly large spiritual upgrade, especially when it comes to psychic abilities and or like connections and emotions and relationships. So yeah, with this Tower and the Ace of Cups coming out, like I'm sensing that you've kind of been through it when it comes to figuring out like how to be like truly like intimate and compassionate for people from this place of like unconditional love, but also having boundaries of steel, and figuring out like how to like release some stuff that was getting in the way of you being that truly compassionate kind of person. So the Ace of Cups is like so the cup suit in general is like psychic gifts, emotions, sensing, and like kind of relationship kind of energy. So I'm sensing that this Tower moment was maybe like really unlocking a lot of that for you. It seems like in particular, 2 of the things that you kind of figured out was, first of all, this 8 of Cups has a lot to do with like communicating and expressing things, especially like emotional kind of communication. So it seems like you've definitely learned how to communicate a lot better. And like when you are in like some sort of conflict or something, being able to kind of talk yourself down off a ledge and like kind of really connect in with like what you're really feeling, what like your real experience or sensation of the situation is, and being able to communicate that to another person without being like as defensive or judgmental or like or blaming or any of that. Like you've had a huge upgrade when it comes to your communication, especially around like what you're intuiting and what you're feeling and things like that. This Star card is like kind of hope, improvements, honesty, and like kind of harvesting. So I'm sensing that you're kind of like harvesting all of this deep spiritual work right now, and like being able to be much more honest with your communication about what's really going on for you. And it seems like this has definitely like unlocked this new stage of like things manifesting in your life. So 10s in Kabbalah Tarot represent like kind of kingdom energy. So energies manifesting in a real tangible form and kind of in their peak form. So like based on all this work, it seems like you've kind of like done a lot of work to do with like love and transformed a lot of stuff and become much more like abundant in your own right, especially to do with like love and psychic abilities and all that sort of stuff. So you've really come into your own with that sort of thing, and you're probably seeing that manifest in your life. This Hanged one is ruled by Neptune, so it's like a very kind of dreamy, imaginative energy. So potentially like this upgrade has like kind of created this space for you to like maybe explore different paths that you can go down, either in romantic relationships or like with your own psychic gifts that maybe like weren't super apparent to you before. Like you didn't even know that there was space to explore these things, just because like you weren't kind of prepared to enter into that energy at all. And it seems like potentially the place where you're maybe still feeling slightly stuck might have to do with maybe translating all of this spiritual stuff into a connection. Like potentially I'm sensing for a fair few of you here that you're not in a connection, but you feel like that you've evolved so much that you kind of want to be in a connection to see if it see if you can kind of like uphold like this kind of spiritual development in the container of a relationship where things get hard and like triggers come up and all that sort of stuff. So this 8 of Swords energy is Jupiter and Gemini. Gemini represent the Lovers card, so it does represent relationship a lot, and the 8 tends to represent like our kind of like either that relationship manifesting or like communication within that relationship. So yeah, upside down, it can represent like being isolated and feeling like you guys kind of can't see each other's sides, but right way up, it's definitely like being able to see each other's side and stay connected even when you have differing opinions. And yeah, you definitely really want to be in connection to see if you're able to kind of experience this 8 of Swords upright when things get kind of like really heated in a loving relationship, because that's usually where we're just like tested in a different way. But yeah, it's with this 7 of Pentacles coming out upside down. So 7s represent kind of like strength and like concentration, but it seems like you haven't had either of those kind of challenged yet because you're not in a connection right now, or the connection is maybe not as deep as you would like to kind of start exploring some of this stuff. So I can kind of feel you calling that in. Definitely keep like manifesting that and calling that in if that's really what you desire, because there's no reason why you can't have it. But yeah, know that the work that you're doing, even outside of a connection, is still really important, and keeping on doing this work until you fall into a connection will like help you enormously when you do attract that connection into your life. So stay like manifest, attract, like whatever it is that you want. Like now's a really good time to start really calling stuff into your life, but making sure that you're like still prioritizing yourself and your own personal nourishment first before you give away your energy to other people. But yeah, just like harnessing that faith and self-love that it will happen in divine timing and everything's working out for you. So yeah, kind of like if you can release like some expectations and just like let things happen how they happen. You need to have faith in the process, have faith in your dreams, have faith that all of this is coming to you, and just like keep on focusing on you. Because yeah, like it's all gonna work out. You can, all right, so the next oracle we have is Life Energy. The Happy Fairy of Sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. So yeah, I think like potentially use this time when you're not being challenged by a connection to keep healing, and especially work on things that you know that might be a little bit too tender if you were in a relationship. Like it'd be something that maybe would be challenging you a little bit too much, just because there's we all have like shadowy things that like we're not ready to bring to a connection necessarily straight away, even if it is like really healing. So if there's any of those tender places for you, definitely now's a good time to like yeah, bring like some attention and awareness to that. And our affirmation is, I attract good luck and I am open to receiving miracles. I think this one will be important for kind of what we were talking about before in terms of attracting in a partnership. Like do your like healing stuff for now, especially like where you're feeling a little bit tender still, and know that like all of this is like attracting the miracles that you're desiring, all in divine timing. But yeah, I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed. I think I'm going to leave this here, Scorpio placements. I would really appreciate it if you could like, comment, and subscribe to see me again on your feed very, very soon for more intuitive tarot card readings. But until then, ciao. Hi Pisces placements, let's get a general energy reading for you. Let's get a few more energies for this reading using this astrology deck. So any other placements that might be relevant to you in terms of maybe where this energy is going to manifest, or is manifesting, or anything that's going on, just any themes, anything, maybe not that many themes, anything that feels relevant. We have anything that feels relevant. Okay, so Scorpio energy came out. Yeah, so yeah, very interesting. You might have some Scorpio placements in your chart as well, and or we have some kind of Scorpio 8th house beginnings and endings, sex, metaphysics kind of transitions energy, especially with this Pluto card coming out. Pluto rules the 8th house and Scorpio energy. So yeah, it seems like there's potentially a lot going on. We also have the South Node, which can be our karma, either this life or past lives, and then the 6th house of routine coming out as well, which is very interesting. That's Virgo and Mercury energy. But yeah, let's see how all of this is playing out and what's relevant to our general energy reading, by clarifying some things using this traditional tarot. Can we get more general energy messages for our Pisces placements, please? Can we get more general messages for our Pisces placements, please? Alright, can we get one more for our Pisces placements, please? One more, please. One more. One more. One more. Whoop. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Not the divine counterpart cards coming out. Let's see if I can relight this candle. Or is it unsalvageable? Yes, we made it. All right. Can we clarify this Ace of Swords energy, please? Can we clarify this Ace of Swords energy? Can we clarify this Ace of Swords energy, please? Okay, interesting. And this Five of Swords energy, please. Thank you. Oh, that's a lot of reversals. So I can see that you've been through a very personal like transformation or evolution recently that is like impacting you in a lot of ways. Definitely how you're kind of like living your life in the day-to-day, but also how you're showing up to relationships. It seems like you're kind of perceiving a lot differently now. And I'm sensing like potentially in the past or kind of not that long ago, you're kind of like stuck in this kind of cycle of thinking of like really wanting a new start with probably a past lover, like an ex or something. And you were kind of like hanging all your hopes on this new start and like things kind of just being different. But I think you're kind of seeing the situation differently now and like working more on evolving yourself rather than expecting someone else to kind of come back to you different, if that makes sense. Like I think you're realizing that like there's actually a deep desire in you to go out and explore the world, and especially explore like what your truth in the world is. So the world's ruled by Saturn, which can reflect our like life purpose. And yeah, I think you're definitely in this phase of like wanting to understand yourself a lot more deeply, and wanting to explore what your purpose here is, like beyond relationships. Like I think maybe you'd put a lot of importance on relationships in the past, and that's not to say that it's not important to you, and not an important part of your future, but there was like some karma there that was kind of building up that like just took a while for you to really bring like awareness to, in a way that you were like really perceiving things differently, and kind of not being stuck in the same old stories of relationships anymore, and like kind of seeing how you were yeah, like how you were behaving, and like seeing like the potential to like grow in yourself a lot more. It seems like you're potentially like a lot less worried about attracting this person back into your life right now. I think you actually feel quite secure about the connection that the two of you had now, whereas maybe some of this trying to manifest it back had to do with being a little bit insecure about that connection. This Four of Pentacles is very secure, stable energy. So I think like this, like you're very aware that this connection like meant something to both of you, and like the power of this connection isn't necessarily going away anytime soon. And you're much more content in being separated from this person. This Eight of Swords energy can reflect being in separation from a person. So it's a Jupiter and Gemini energy. Gemini is like the Lovers card. So usually the Eight of Swords has to do with some sort of like partnership with another person. And coming out in reverse, I'm seeing that you're kind of understanding and accepting the necessity of being in separation from this person, like either as a separation that is intended to close back with this person, or a separation that's intended to like end this relationship. So either way, depending on your situation, just take what resonates. You've kind of closed it from a place of like security, knowing that it was deep, that it was meaningful. And for those of you who maybe do want to revisit this connection, like knowing that now will happen for a place of security and stability rather than insecurity, and trying to like almost manifest it back kind of too quickly before each of you has done the work that you needed to do and that was intended for the separation. But Pisces placements, let's get some more oracles for you. Yeah, I think this action card is representing it's time for you to act on your own life purpose and act on your own karma that had been building up, especially about this kind of like insecurities and getting stuck in story. Yeah, I think you're like for the first time like really directing your action to yourself rather than to other people. Like I'm sensing in the past like you're a little bit selfless and like always worrying about other people and not worrying about yourself, but it definitely feels different now. Feels like potentially like there was a period of darkness that brought all this on, and like you've potentially only been able to unlock all of these lessons and learnings from the darkness that you enjoyed, but you're definitely blossoming into a like higher frequency version of yourself now, thanks to all of these lessons. Yeah, you're definitely like connecting with this more pure version of your energy. Emotions potentially have been running high like this throughout this whole process, especially to begin with, and it was the emotions running high that actually taught you the lessons that you needed to learn. I'm sensing that like kind of the darkness and like heightened emotion was almost what was necessary to kind of like wake you up to yourself in a sense. But yeah, there's like heavy like transformation, evolution energy here. So you've got the tree wisdom card, which has a lot to do with insights and answers like coming to you. Yeah, this is like pretty obvious that you've just like learned a lot and had a lot of insights of late, that are definitely just, yeah, like really helping you with your quality of life. Like I'm sensing just a huge shift and a huge upgrade with your quality of life. So we have, I allow myself to let go and let the universe guide me. So yeah, this definitely feels like you kind of letting go of like all of the negative-ish elements of this connection that were kind of triggering you and like making you feel maybe insecure, and just like really letting go of like kind of all that stuff and letting the universe guide you through your own evolution to your like best self, to your like life purpose and all that sort of stuff. So I think this reading is like more of a confirmation of like all the good work that you're doing, and that spirit's really seeing that and seeing you go through it and like come out the other side so much better. And just like this universe wants you to know that like it's guiding you, it's protecting you, and it is like planning like so much abundance and joy and beautiful things for you. But I think I'm going to leave that there, Pisces placements. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed. It was a pleasure reading for you. My name's Jade Rewilding, and I'll be on this channel doing more intuitive tarot card readings for whenever you need it, guys. But until then, ciao.